I'm Angela Godwin, president of Patrick Henry Community College in Martinsville, Virginia, and so delighted to be here today and be a new board member for the Tennessee Valley Corridor. It has a special place in my heart because I've worked in 4 of the 5 states represented here, and I've left a lot of golf balls in North Carolina. That's the only other state, so I've made an investment there. Today is about the power of presence, and your presence here really is the benchmark for what we do as a region and what this corridor means to our entire American economy. My grandfather used to say that it's by no accident that the last 4 letters in American is I can. And I think that's what you're going to hear through this summit, is a real sense of what we can do and how our power of the presence of the people here. I am so honored to be able to introduce my Congressman, Morgan Griffith here, who was selected to serve our 9th Congressional District of Virginia in the U.S. House of Representatives back in November of 2010, and he's now currently serving in his 2nd term. He's a member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which has a jurisdiction over many, many important issues that our 9th District and the Commonwealth of Virginia are facing, as well as the nation. And it happens to be actually the oldest standing legislative committee in the U.S. House of Representatives, so it is a distinguished place to be. During his 2nd term, Congressman Griffith was named to the Energy and the Commerce Committee Subcommittee on Health, and is serving on the Subcommittee on Energy and Power and the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigation. And so we believe that he is in a critical spot to really have an influence and share with us as we move forward with our efforts at the Tennessee Valley Corridor. Prior to serving in the U.S. House, he served as a member of the Virginia House of Delegates from 1994 to 2011, where he represented the 8th District. And in 2000, he was elected as the House Majority Leader, who was the first Republican in the Commonwealth of Virginia's history to ever hold that position. I would like to say that Congressman Griffith knows his people, and he knows his district. And in my short tenure in Virginia, I've had an opportunity to watch his absolute commitment to a major industrial park project that we had going on in our area. His tenacity and ability to really work in a bipartisan role that was valuable for our entire region. He worked tirelessly, and so we're very honored that he will be a tireless champion for the Tennessee Valley Corridor, and it gives us great pleasure to have him here with us today, Congressman Morgan Griffith.
Thank you so much for those kind comments. I greatly appreciate it. Let me speak briefly, because I think it does go to the mission of this organization, about that industrial park. We had Republicans and Democrats in the United States Congress working together on a project where regulations were getting in the way, and everybody agreed it needed to be done. The entrance to the park is in North Carolina, to the industrial park. Virginia was putting it all together, but you can't get there without going through North Carolina. And it actually straddles across 2 different congressional districts. And so very much like what you all do here, it's not always about whose state the entrance is in, or which congressional district that a particular project may be located in. What it's about is making sure that we create the opportunities for jobs and that we move forward. I have to thank you all so much for allowing me to be here, and I'm going to steal a line from Phil Rowe, our colleague who can't be here, and since he's not going to be able to be here, I thought I'd steal his line, and that is, with Congress's approval rating hovering around 10%, we're just happy to be invited anywhere. But it is great to be with you all. Dr. Goodwin, thank you so much. It was very kind of you to introduce me in such a nice way. Chuck Fleischman. He brings us together. It may be in a corner on the floor of the United States House, but he is always working. He deserved the award, Champion of the Tennessee Valley Corridor. I didn't know he'd actually received that because he didn't go around talking about it, but when I heard it, I thought, well, that makes sense. And as you all know, working with him, he's one of those guys that even if you're not 100% sold, you want to come to say yes because he asked you to do it. So thank you so much for being such a pivotal part of this organization and being a real champion of the organization. I thank you for that. I am excited about so much. Obviously, my district is a pretty long one, and I am excited about so much of the work that you all are doing. I thought there for a minute, when Chuck was talking, I might have a bone to pick with him because he talked about, this being the best city. Then he came to mid-size, and I thought, okay, we're okay, because my big city is 25,000, and so we're not a mid-size. But I have 22 counties and 7 independent cities. The big one being 25,000 people. So it's a lot of small communities and rural areas. And it's very important that we continue to have economic development. And there are things that the federal government can and should be doing to help encourage that. One of the things that I came up with to explain my energy policy, because serving on the Energy Committee, coming from an energy producing area of the country, I had to have an energy policy. We came up with what we call the 4 Ds: drill, dig, discover, and deregulate. This group is a linchpin in that discovery mechanism. We have to find new ways to use old energy sources, and we have to find new energy sources, because as long as the United States of America has a strong energy policy and we're allowed to use a true all-of-the-above format with new discoveries that make everything cleaner and better and more efficient, we will continue to be the #1 economic nation in the world. And that is our mission here, to continue to be the #1 economic nation in the world. And then you look at space exploration, which I get excited about. We don't have anything, so we have a lot of people who support it in my district, but we don't really have a lot of space stuff in the 9th District of Virginia. But we understand that just like having a strong energy policy, having a policy of exploration, whether it's discovering new sources of energy or discovering a new way to get minerals and resources out of asteroids or off of Mars or wherever it may be, is extremely important to us continuing to be the #1 economic nation in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for being here. I thank you for your work in making sure that our region and these United States remains economically strong, because as long as we're economically strong, we will continue to lead the world in a direction that is better for everyone. Thank you so much for letting me be here.